Caragher questions Romeo Lavia transfer push and names alternative Liverpool should sign. Liverpool legend Caragher has expressed his worries about Liverpool's ongoing pursuit of Southampton midfielder Romeo Lavia. Despite several attempts, the Reds have been unable to reach an agreement with Southampton, which is holding out for a 64 million stroke 50 million stroke 58 million fee for the 19-year-old player. Caragher believes that Liverpool's current predicament can be traced back to its failure to strengthen the midfield during the summer of 2022. Caragher voiced his concerns during an episode of the Overlaps fan debate, stating, the problem goes back to the last summer. Liverpool didn't buy a midfield player, so everyone in that core becomes another 12 months older. He emphasized the need for new signings to inject youth and energy into the squad, especially considering the age and potential decline of some key players. Everyone is talking, this one is gone, that one is gone, said the Sky Sport pundit. It was right for them to go. It was right for James Milner to go, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to go, Naby Keita, and you are getting offered massive money from Saudi Arabia for Fabinho and Jordan Henderson, who looked like their legs had completely gone last season. Jordan Henderson's 33, Fabinho, you are not quite sure, because they didn't get anyone last summer who was 23 or 24. You end up in a situation with players that are old, coming to the end of their careers, some of them great players for Liverpool, and you are left with almost nothing. They have won the lottery with the money they have received for those players, got them off the wage bill, because it looked like at times last season that there was nothing left there. To be fair to Liverpool, in the transfer market in the last 5 or 6 years, they were clinical. Bang and it's done. There is no talk about something. It gets announced and done the next day. Romeo Lavia, who joined Southampton from Manchester City last summer, made 29 appearances in the Premier League last season as the Saints were relegated. Caragher questioned whether he is ready to step into Liverpool's midfield and suggested that Brighton's Moises Caicedo might be better target for the club. He added, my problem with bringing Lavia is because people keep saying he's too young to be the holding midfield player for Liverpool, to play all season in the Premier League. So you need to bring in someone else as well. How does that work? If you are playing 50 million to 60 million for 19-year-old kid, to then go and pay 50 million or 60 million for someone who is 26. So what you are basically saying is that in 12 months time, Romeo Lavia will be ready. What do you do with the other fella? Just get the proper play now. Just get the proper player now. Caicedo. You might think Caicedo is overpriced, but Fabinho and Jordan Henderson were massively overpriced, so they have won on the side. So you may have to pay a bit extra on the other side just to do it. You may notice the below message on a small number of Liverpool.com article. We like to innovate, and this is part of a trial. to look at whether all can help speed up the publishing process. Jurgen Klopp has already added Alexis McAllister and Dominic Zovaggio to his midfield ranks this summer as part of a long-awaited engine room revamp, but remains without a senior holding midfielder following the unexpected exits of both Jordan Henderson and Fabinho to Saudi Arabia. Consequently, their pursuit of Lavia has become more pressing, with the teenager having already been identified as a long-term replacement for their now departed Brazilian. Lavia was an unused substitute for Southampton's championship opener away at Sheffield Wednesday on Friday night, while he was left out of the Saints' matchday squad entirely for their shock League Cup first-round defeat to Gillingham. Consequently, with negotiations between Liverpool and Southampton ongoing, St Mary's exit remains likely after all, though he did admit he doesn't expect any move to happen before the weekend. There needs to be movement that suits us as a club, Martin told on Tuesday night. I don't expect anything changing between now and the weekend, but it's football, right? So anything can happen. Were something to happen before the start of the Premier League season, the Reds would face a race against time to get Lavia registered, so he is eligible to face Chelsea. Despite Liverpool's Premier League opener falling on Sunday, league rules would require such a transfer to be completed by midday on Friday for Jurgen Klopp to select the midfielder. Section U 23 of the Premier League rulebook states, subject to the provisions of Rule 5, Clause 1, the deadline for receipt by the board of all duly completed documents required by these rules to effect the registration of a player. The registration of a player shall be 12 noon on the last working day before the date of the first league match in which the club making the application intends him to play, save that the international transfer certificate and evidence of eligibility to take up employment in the United Kingdom. In both cases of applicable. In both cases, if applicable, may be provided thereafter, but must be provided before the player is eligible to play for a club in a league match. Admittedly, as things stand, Liverpool are planning for their Premier League opener without the services of Lavia. Having had 3 bids rejected already, the Belgian very much remains a Southampton player with no sign of a breakthrough in negotiations just yet.